Hi, thanks for stopping by today. Today's video is going to cover all the curriculum that we used for kindergarten this year. Our main focuses were reading, writing, and math. We mainly covered history and science as a unit study and things that were interesting at the time rather than having an actual curriculum for them. So I'm going to go through everything that we used and kind of zoom in and go through a couple of the things here. For our reading program, we used All About Reading, Level 1. We began the year with the pre-reading program, and that just goes through the alphabet and all, letter recognition, where this actually delves into all the sounds and actual reading. It comes with a teacher's manual, an activity book, and then 3 readers. This is the color edition. And so all the stories are going to be color. It's very pretty. It's fun little stories for them to read. And all 3 readers get more difficult as it goes. So volume 1 was the stories were a lot shorter. You'll have like a sentence during the page, where volume 3, you're going to get into a lot more words on the page, and they're also going to be longer. The program is very good. I would recommend that you really check out your teacher's manual, especially if you ever come to a point where you might have hit a wall. It's just not going as smoothly as it was. There's a lot of resources in here on what to do exactly, and different activities that you can do to also kind of drive home some of the ideas that are being used. Another program that we used for reading and phonics is Explode the Code. We began the year with get set for the code, get ready for the code, A, B, and C here. We did all of those, and then we went ahead and started on Explode the Code 1. This is a fun little program that goes along with a lot of the same vowel sounds that we're using through the reading program, but it just brings it into a different way. We didn't finish this completely, the set 1, we didn't. We finished A, B, and C, but it's got a little bit of writing in it, a lot of matching, and you would just read the sentence, match it to the picture, or see the picture, read the word, and this was a fun little program, and we did like this as well. Some of the favorite things that we used were Bob books. I love Bob books. They are wonderful for the child to use. It's just very small little books where a lot of times these readers, even at the beginning, even when the story is shorter, you can see it's a book. So it feels more intimidating sometimes when you're picking it up only to read a few, even if it's a few pages, where with this, it's not as intimidating. It's something that's enjoyable. Each page just has a few little lines on it, and at the end, you've read a story, and it's something that she has accomplished and she feels good about. And we really like these. These are very relaxed time for reading. It's fun. It's where you're working harder with the actual All About Reading program. These can be more of a relaxing time, an enjoyable time to read. Just a very, very good addition to reading. Another little set of readers that we used were from the National Geographic Scholastic set, and it's set A, B, C, and D, and right now we're working on level A and level B. And this is more of using some sight words such as big and bears, and so you would just go through, and again, very short, colorful. It throws in some science and knowledge in addition to reading and finishing a little book. At the very end, there's a section where you read aloud to your child, and so it tells you more about the bears, and it is just a mini little lesson in one. And so these were fun little books to read also. They're not big, they're just small little readers that are enjoyable. We started out the year with Handwriting Without Tears, and this was letters, numbers, and me. And this just starts off with writing the letters, learning how to form the letters, and then it slowly works up into where you're writing words and sentences, and there's little sections where they can check how they wrote, how they did. At the very end, it starts numbers, and we haven't finished this part yet. We kind of had a hiccup with our writing for a little bit, and we were writing in this in addition to writing a little bit with Explode to Code, writing with our math, and so we kind of stepped back a little bit from writing, and we started utilizing this marker board a lot more. This has the printed letters at the top and the bottom, and this is just a little marker board that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. And she's able to use the marker board, erase it, and it's just not as precise as you have to be with the pencil, so it's more relaxed. On the back, it's just a blank, and so she could write really large letters or numbers if she wanted to, and didn't even have to confine herself to within the lines. We also used this activity book, which is a wipe clean activity book. And so we could use the markers and we could practice tracing the letters. There were little sections where we could trace animals. There were little activities, mazes that you could do. And then it goes to some number practice, a little bit of time practice. And then it goes back to the numbers again. The best addition that I made to our writing program is this box. And this box is a salt box. And all it is it's a little craft box that I purchased, filled it with salt, and we can practice writing our letters in the salt, shake it, it goes away. I have this little pencil that lays in here. She can use the pencil, erase it, shake it away. This has brought a love of writing back. She really, really is enjoying this. She also is very, very curious about cursive, and so we are going to go ahead and start that next year. I have read a lot where a lot of people start with cursive, and so this has just been a great way to sort of practice some of the movements that you might see with cursive. And so, like I said, this, in addition to her getting to learn some cursive, she's just really taking off with writing again, and that's exciting. For math, we used Singapore Math Dimensions Math, and it comes in 2 sets, KA and KB. KA will be the beginning of the year. KB is the section that you'll use at the end of the year. You have a teacher's guide, a workbook, and a textbook for both sets, and it's formatted more for an actual school setting versus a homeschool. However, it's really, really easy to modify this to use it for a homeschool. We both loved this program. She did very well. It uses manipulatives that you buy your own, and there's not a set from the company. You just go and you buy some of the things. It has a list of things that you'll need during each of them. And so this goes through matching numbers to 5, comparing weights, comparing numbers to 10. It tells you a little bit about the program in addition to the resources that you'll need. Each lesson is set up exactly the same. So once you kind of get the first few lessons under your belt, you know exactly what each lesson is going to be set up like. There is always a picture of their textbook so that you know what they're looking at. Here's an example of some of the black line masters that you would print from the program if you were interested. And then at the end of the chapter, it has a picture of all of the pages that will be in their workbook and what the answers would be. And so it follows the same set throughout A and B. Highly recommend this. This is 7 to 20 numbers, adding, subtraction, numbers to 100, and then clock and time and money. And if you would like to have another flip through of this that goes into more detail, please let me know. I would love to do this because I don't think there's very many of those out there, and it's a great, great program. The other 2 resources that we used for math is a workbook that we would just use occasionally on non-school days or just on a day where she was feeling like something Star Wars. And so this goes through the numbers 1 0 to 20, a little bit of addition, a little bit of subtraction, and there's some games in here. And so they would just practice the number, do a little activity on the other page. Then back here, you can color. She's not a huge colorer, so she kind of skips this page. And then we haven't finished all of it either. And then at the end, it does some subtraction, but it all is Star Wars, and so it's really fun. There's a cute little Ewok edition. Who wouldn't love that? And so this is a fun little Star Wars workbook. I know that they have different sections, not just math skills. So if you're interested, definitely check them out if you have a Star Wars fan. The other resource that we used, which was mainly in our morning basket and just that we would read separately, is The Life of Fred. And this is the first book, Apples. And this follows a little guy named Fred, and it's just a little story form where we have his Kittens University and Kingy, his pet, and it's just a different way to address math, and so it just makes us think of it differently. And again, it's nothing that we go through all the time, but it is a fun little addition. Okay, this next set is some of the resources that we would use for science. I picked up this Tinker Active workbook for science, kindergarten 5 through 6. You can also get, I think, like math and a language arts of this, and I'm sure it would follow the same thing as well. I actually did go ahead and get another one of these for first grade. We used the Smithsonian Knowledge Encyclopedia, and we would honestly just open this up and look through it and find something that would be interesting. So if there was something that interested us, we would study it a little bit further. We would take this and some internet resources, and we would just do our own little unit study with this. In addition to, we would do the same thing with this Usborne World of Animals. This is not an encyclopedia of animals. It covers more of like just subjects like the rainforest canopy, South and Central America, Florida Everglades. And so we would look through this and just anything that kind of caught our eye. The pictures are really fun. They're beautiful. They're little interesting topics that's not going into too much detail, but enough to kind of whet the palate and get us interested into maybe researching some more on our own. For history, it was very similar to, we would pull information out of these books to use for unit studies. This is a fun book, the Usborne book, Living Long Ago. And this just opens up and it shows you what things were like, the clothes, the homes, the food, the travel. And it would give you little bits of information all along the pages. And we would open this up, and again, anything that was interesting, anything that looked like something we would want to learn about, we looked it up. There's different little activities and crafts that you could make along the time. We also utilize this resource, which is the Usborne Internet Linked Encyclopedia of World History. Again, we would open it up, look through it, see if anything looked really interesting for us, and build upon that. Purchased this last book used, and it's fun. It's just, it shows what children in other places look like, how they live, how they write their name, what their family looks like, what their school might look like. And so this was very interesting. Granted, it's older. The fashions are probably not what they would be wearing now, but it gives a good idea. A fun morning basket edition as well. And this is Children Just Like Me. Last two resources that we used occasionally were 52 Weeks of Family Spanish. We went through and we learned our colors and different things like that, the simple things, just by videos from YouTube. But this was one that we just kind of would read, and the whole family would practice the few words in it. And the last thing that we did was, dude, that's rude, get some manners. And so this is just, we kind of covered some things that you might not think about until it was too late. And so hopefully we covered some manners that maybe we'll remember to do when we're out in public. When to write a thank you note. I mean, it's just really cute things, burps, sneezes, coughing, PU words. And so, again, we didn't go into crazy detail on all of these. We didn't do big studies. We would just pull it out. We would open it up. we would talk about it and talk about different instances on when we could use our different manners. So I thank you so much again for watching this video. If there's anything that you would like to see further reviews or details on, please just let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.